mental health, and I've been a victim of being a victim. You are wrong. You are strong enough. Trust me, you are strong enough. Why me keeps you in the past. What now moves you forward. That you're a survivor. My face, your screen. Let's talk. We haven't spoken in a long time, but there's something that's very close to me that I need to speak about. And I think everybody needs to hear about this, okay? It's mental health, okay? Mental health is very, very important to me. I got a soft spot there. Maybe because I'm crazy, I don't know. I'm nuts. But in order to overcome most of your issues, I have issues, okay, is to let go of the victim mentality and adopt the survivor mentality, okay? And I'm going to try to explain this because I see it so often, and I've been a victim of being a victim myself, okay? So yes, let's get into it. From a victim to a victor, to not let your history, your situation, your circumstances control your entire life and define who you are, because it doesn't. There's so much more to you. So let's get into it. So understanding the victim mentality. Okay. Let's start off right from the onset. Life is not fair. Okay. Some people are born into pain, some are driven into it, sometimes life just blindsides you and shit happens and you get hurt or you become a victim. Remember, a victim does not necessarily mean DV or grape or whatever, okay? You can be a victim in a relationship where somebody breaks your heart. You can be a victim in a friendship where somebody abuses your trust, okay? There's a lot of aspects to this, okay? But it happens. It happens to every single person unless you're a narcissist, okay? So the victim mentality sounds like this. Why does it always happen to me, okay? I can't do anything about it. They hurt me. This happened to me. I was born into this, okay? No one understands what I've been through. You are wrong, okay? You are wrong. First off, let me just stress this, okay? Whatever has happened to you, okay? There's something I like to say, and many people don't agree with it. If somebody says, you have hurt me, then you have hurt them. Okay, whether you meant to, whether it was intentional. If somebody comes to me and says to me, you know, you really hurt me last week, I'm like, why? What did I do? It doesn't mean because I didn't know I hurt them that they weren't hurt. They were hurt. Okay, so somebody who says something hurt them, it hurt them. Doesn't matter if it makes sense to you, because what hurts you might not hurt me. Not many things hurt me anymore, but what hurts you, and that's just how it is. So, whatever happened to you, you didn't deserve it. Okay, being hurt, you did not deserve it. Being abused, you did not deserve it. It is not your fault. Okay, it is never the victim's fault. Never, no matter what. You hear so many times, yeah, but you know, the way she dressed, the way he acted, the way he's no. The person doing the hurting makes that decision. They make that decision to hurt. So they're to blame. You are not to blame. You are not to blame. If somebody hurts you, you are not to blame, okay? So everybody, you know, people have said to me, why do you open yourself up to that? Why do you allow them to hurt you? Because I'm a good person. Because I'm a good person. So that, you know, you, by being a good person, you give power, you give people power. You give them the power to hurt you, okay? And that's something you've got to learn. I'm now at the point where I don't, nobody can hurt me because I don't give them the power. I don't give them that power. It doesn't mean I'm not a good person anymore. If I see someone in need, I'm going to help them. My friends and things know I'm there for them. But I'm not going to give you the power to hurt me. I'm going to give no one the power to hurt me. And I'd love to see someone try and physically hurt me, because that's not going to happen either, because I'm more than prepared for that. So yes, so just remember, it is not your fault. Ever. You know, all those feelings of why did it happen to me? It always happens to me. There's nothing I can do about it. You don't understand how I feel. It's all valid. It's very valid emotions that you're going through, because we identify differently. The truth is, pain wants acknowledgement. Okay, pain needs acknowledgement. It's like you're hurting and you want the whole world to know you are hurting. Okay, different people it works differently. Some people hide it, they don't want it. They put the biggest smile on and they don't want anybody to know. But other people want everybody to know. But even if you hide it, you secretly want them to feel what you're feeling, because then they can relate to you. It's very valid to feel like that, okay? Emotions are something you cannot control. Actions you can, responses you can. Emotions are very difficult to control. Please know, I'm not a psychologist or anything. I'm just speaking from personal experience, and I'm old now. So I've taught myself a lot of ways to cope with situations in life and being hurt and all that stuff, okay? And so that's why I'm talking, because I do believe there's a lot of people that go through this and they don't understand what they're going through, and some of them stay stuck. See, the problem is when you hurt and you stay there, you're stuck there, you're a victim forever, you don't go through it. Now, hear me on this. There is nothing worse than someone saying to you, and if I ever hear anybody say that, I'm likely to punch you in the face, okay, and that person. If I hear you saying to someone, get over it, you don't get over it. There's no getting over any abuse, any pain, any betrayal. There's no getting over it, okay? You can't go around it. You can't, think of it as a fire, okay? There's this fire in front of you and it's burning you. You can't go around it, you can't go over it, you can't walk away from it, because you've got to get to the other side. The only way to deal with your pain is to go through it. Whatever happened to you, whatever you're feeling, you have to go through it. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, to walk through that fire and get to the other end. Get to the other side, and I made it. Now I'm not a victim. Now I'm a survivor. Now I'm stronger. Because if you live to tell your story, you're not a victim anymore. You're a survivor. You made it. A victim is someone who didn't make it. Don't allow yourself to be a victim. Don't. Be a survivor. Be a survivor. You see, now the thing is, with people, and I'm specifically talking criminal things now that happen to people. Criminals in prison, even not in prison, they like a body count. Okay, this is how many victims I have. But none of them will talk about, I have a survivor list. They don't want a survivor list, okay? It's like a runner-up, second place. They don't want second place. They want first place. They want you to be a victim. They want you to always be a victim. Walk out and be a survivor, okay? You guys should go watch I've got 3 videos on Alison, Jamie Klaas, and another little girl. These are 3 survivors that I watched them, and I was like, if I could just be, I'd like to think I would be that strong, but I won't. I don't know if anybody can be that strong. But you should go watch it. Very motivational. I will link it in the description box as well. Very, very good to watch, okay? Especially if your pain comes from something criminal. Very good stories to watch, very inspirational. Alison Butler actually wrote a book that's called I Have Life, okay, which is so powerful, because just a quick on who she is. She's a South African girl, and she was attacked by 3 guys, okay. This girl crawled to the road after this happened to her. They essayed her, they tried to delete her, okay. Her head was hanging on her back when she got up to her knees, and she realized she can't see because her head was behind her. She had to take her t-shirt, put her insides back into the cavity in her stomach, hold it there, hold her head up on her neck, and crawled to the road, okay? And she survived. And she wrote the book, I Have Life. That that is strength. She's not a victim, she's a survivor, okay? She could be the ultimate victim, but she's a survivor. I mean, this girl was decapitated, and she lived, okay? She's still alive today. She actually does talks, so you can go see her. But that's just a side note. Very, very powerful. Now, victim mentality is a trap. Okay, it's the worst trap the world can ever throw at you, because it's so easy to get stuck in that, I'm a victim, I can't succeed, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. It can consume you, okay? Depression is a terrible thing. I suffer from depression, always have. Fortunately, I suffer from temper issues as well, which counters the depression, but I'm not violent towards people, okay, but I have punching bags, things like that. But depression is a terrible thing, okay, and the victim mentality can consume you, that you relive this thing that happened to you. And I see it, there are so many content creators I follow who have had bad experiences, and I look at them and my heart goes out to these people, men and women, when I can see the pain in their eyes, and I think they're living with this every day. They haven't gone through the fire yet. They're not on the other end. They haven't got the survivor mentality yet. They're still a victim. You know, they still give that person the power to hurt them every day, to control them in a way every day. I will not let the people who hurt me control what I am, who I am, where I am in my life, how I feel, what I do. Never. When I do have a breakdown, I do it very silently, because I will not give them that satisfaction of knowing that. Never. I'm way too selfish for that. I like myself. Now, why is it so easy to stay a victim after something happened to you? Here's the truth, okay? Sometimes being the victim feels safe, okay? Because you were the victim, you are the victim. You cannot be the victim again. They can't hurt you again because you're still hurting, okay? You're still hurting. So you're broken. They can't break you more because I'm broken already. What more are they going to break? You know, so that's safe. The world doesn't expect anything of us because we're broken. So that's safe, okay? But you can't stay angry and you can't stay sad and hopeless forever. You can't, because you are you, and there's so much that you have to experience that you need to get through it. But it almost feels justified to, I'm broken. You can't expect anything. Do you know my story? Do you know what I've been? Can you walk a mile in my shoes? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I've walked them. I'm past. I went through the fire. The shoes are burnt. Okay. So you have to get to the point of healing, and it's hard. It's very hard. For some people, it's even harder, okay, because it cuts really deep. Yes, I'm not going to get into my personal story, but I do know about these things. I do know about betrayal, and on every level, okay, from Africa. But let's get into survivor. What does it mean to be a survivor? Because we know what it means to be a victim now. What does it mean to be a survivor? What is a survivor mentality? A survivor is not pretending to be fine all the time, because everything's not fine all the time, and it's okay. It's okay. It shows strength if you can get up and say, I'm not okay today. I'm not okay. I'm a little back there today before the fire. I'm just going to go through it quickly again. Okay, I'm not okay today. It's fine. It's fine. That takes strength. Okay. To not deny what happened. So many people live in denial. I mean, I know in Africa specifically, and I think it's all over the world, but a lot in Africa, things like sexual abuse doesn't get reported. Never happened. Never happened. One of them. Okay. Never happened. Didn't happen. Mummy, you know, that makes it worse, because your wound is so deep that it cannot form a scar. It can't heal, okay, because it's too deep. You need to talk about it. You need that. I have never been for therapy in my life, okay. I haven't. I talk to myself. Yeah, I don't talk to anyone about problems, and that's the wrong thing. Trust me, that's the wrong thing, okay? That's why I have some broken knuckles all the time, because I have to take mine out on another level. So, but anyway, what it means to be a survivor, okay? When you can stand in the storm that tried to destroy you and just say, I am still here, I am still standing, okay? That's what a survivor is, okay? Carrying on. Survivor takes ownership of what happened. This happened to me. They broke me. They tried to, but I'm not broken, okay? I'm not broken. So we all have scars. Some of us have physical scars, but we all have scars, okay? And I think the emotional scars are worse than the physical scars. But you can fix it. You can. It's never too late. It's never too late. Survivors turn pain into purpose, okay? You take the lesson, you take the scar, and you make it a memory, okay? You use it to help someone else, to better yourself, to build yourself a future. Okay? You can't procrastinate because of what happened to you, because that's what they want. That's what the person who did this to you, whatever they did, this is what they want. They want to keep you a victim. You can't. You have to move on. But moving on and becoming a survivor requires change, and change is hard. Change is extremely hard. In the best of circumstances, change is hard. Now change, as hard as it is, but change comes when you can actually say, you no longer say, they hurt me. You say, I overcame that. It's not, I lost everything. It's, I found myself in the ashes and I'm still standing. It's no longer, I'll never be the same again. It's, I'm stronger and I'm better. I'm stronger than I've ever been and I'm better. Okay. It's a huge shift from a victim to a survivor, but it takes effort, okay? And you are strong enough. Trust me, you are strong enough. I never thought I was a strong person, but you are strong. I am strong. I am not a victim, I am a survivor. And if anybody calls me a victim, I get very uptight, because I am not a victim. I'm not a victim. They wanted to make me a victim, but I'm not a victim. You know, the world tried to make me a victim, but I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor, because I'm still standing and I can tell my story when I choose, if I choose. You understand? Now the shift from a victim to survivor is a hard one. It's a long one. It's a process, okay? But let's talk about that shift. Let's talk about how you get there from being a victim to being a survivor, okay? It doesn't happen overnight. It's not a thing where you just decide so. It doesn't work like that. You know, because I'm sure you have tried. But it's deliberate, small choices every day. For as long as it takes. Let's run through a few. I've actually written a few down. Well, not written them down, put them on my laptop. Let's go through them, and I hope they can help you. Number one, acknowledge your pain, but stop feeding it. Okay? Acknowledge your pain. This happened to me. This happened to me, but it's done. It's over. Okay? Feel it. Speak it. And then stop reliving it. Okay, you're allowed to move on. Stop reliving what happened to you. I know the nightmares are real, the monsters under the bed and in your head, it's real, it happens, okay, but move on, put it behind you. Even if you have a relapse now and then, it doesn't matter. As long as your good days are more than your bad days, you're making progress, okay. Number two, stop asking why me and start saying, what now? What am I going to do now? Okay, that's my reaction. That has become my reaction over the last, I'd say 15 years. Something happens and it's not like, why me? Why? It's like, okay, what now? What's plan B? You know, that's where you need to get. What now? Why me keeps you in the past. What now moves you forward. Okay, you have to get to the, what do I do now? That's very important. Number 3, this is very hard, and I struggle. I personally struggle with this one, is forgive. Okay. But now, don't forgive because they deserve it. Okay. Forgive because you deserve it. You deserve it. Don't forget. Okay. This took me very long to learn. Let me just explain forgiveness. Okay. Took me very long to learn that while I don't forgive people, it gives them power over me because they know I'm thinking about them, I've got a grudge against them, I hate them. It gives them power because they can provoke an emotion in me, and I refuse to have that. But forgiving does not mean forgetting. Okay. Only a fool will tell you, pastors don't come for me. Only a fool will tell you, forgive and forget. People love saying that. That's nonsense. That's utter bullshit. Because you can forgive for your own sanity so that you don't think about it and you strip their power. But do not forget. Don't think about it every day, but if you see a red flag, you know. If you see a van without windows driving past, you know. You spot it. Okay? If you see anything that you've experienced, you're not going to let it get you again. Okay, it's not going to get you again. You're going to be aware of your surroundings. You're going to be aware of who you trust, who you let in. So, forgive, but put it in the past. Put it in the past. Forgive them. Don't think about them. Don't think about the person who did what they did. But remember the details of why it happened. Not how it happened. Not the details of what happened. How did it happen? Okay, right. It was this type of place, this type of person, right, that look. Okay, I know that. You see that, you're going to recognize it, you're going to walk away before something happens. Okay, so forgive is very good. Somebody once said, holding a grudge is like drinking poison hoping the other person will die. Very true, very, very true. And I used to be very good at grudges and revenge. Okay, my thing, that was my thing. You get me, I'm going to get you 100 times bad. You know, you delete someone of mine, I'm going to delete your whole family. That was me. I'm not there anymore, okay? So now it's like, yeah, God will take care of you. I'm living my life. I'm living my best life, and you can't stop me. Number 3, reclaim your narrative. Very important, very important. Because you are not your trauma, okay? Trauma happens, okay, and it happened to you, but you survived it, okay, you survived it. Rewrite your story. Yes, I was hurt, but I healed, and I'm still here, and I'm stronger, and it's not going to happen again, okay. Rewrite your narrative, rewrite your story, reclaim your identity. You are not your trauma. That's not you. Don't let your trauma define who you are or what you become. Don't. You are better than that. You are better than what they tried to make you. Okay? Nobody else can shape you. You shape you. Okay? That's very important. Very, very important. Number 5. Surround yourself with builders, not breakers. Okay? Do not surround yourself. Do not hang around with people who remind you of what you were. People who treat you differently. You get that, okay? Some people actually thrive on that, and they become so used to it. Being treated like a shame. Treat her with tweezers because, you know, with gloves on, because they're fragile. And that's actually where they get their energy. Don't. Be with people who see your strength, who see what you can be, who see your potential, not people who see your past, okay, who see what happened to you. If somebody looks at you and they see your trauma and you can see in their face, they're feeling pity for me, that breaks you down so bad, okay. There's a difference between empathy and sympathy. People have compassion, okay, but they don't have to look at you like, oh, shame. You understand what I'm saying? Hang out with people who know your worth, who know your strength, who don't judge you. Not that they're trying to be ugly, but you get people who are just so over-compassionate that they bring you down by, oh shame, let's not go there. Or we all know what happened to you. No, No. Don't do that. And people who see what you can be, not what you've been through. Okay. Number 6, turn your scars into strength. Okay. Now, if it's a physical thing you went through, you clearly have scars. Okay. Most of us do. Turn your scars into, whether it's scars that they made or scars that you made. Okay, or both. Turn your scars into your strength. Okay. I've actually had this one. Yeah, I've wanted to tattoo over it so many times. Okay, and where I saw it, and I don't, because I look at it and I'm like, I made it. It's my pride. I made it through. I was there, and I can't believe I was there. I wanted to do that, and I've tried to delete myself many times before I got this revelation. I'm better. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. I am a survivor, and nobody's taking me out. Okay, so carry your scars with pride, whether they're inflicted by others or inflicted by yourself. Carry them with pride because you made it through. You're still around. You're still breathing. You can still do what you want to do. So carry that with pride. Okay, that's very important. And then one of the most important points is be kind to yourself. This is hard for most people. Okay, healing is not linear. Okay. Some days you feel strong and other days you fall apart. I have days, and I have possibly 2 people in my life who understand when that happens, where I won't answer my phone, I won't go out my door, I won't talk to anybody. And funny enough, these friends are such good friends that they can actually feel when something's not right, okay? And they won't bother me. They won't call and, "You okay? What's happening? Can I do anything? Can I send you some?" They leave me alone. They leave me alone because they know I'm going through something. I'm finding that fire inside me to bring it to the top to be better. And sometimes it takes a day, sometimes it takes a week, where I will lay in bed for a week, or I will spend a week punching a punching bag and break every bone in my hands, which I do regularly. I've broken the bones in my hands and my wrists so many times because that's my outlet. Okay. But that's how I cope. I'm not saying do that, break your hands, but go take some Krav, take some Muay Thai, do some martial arts, do something. Even if you just go to gym, it's good. It helps. Okay, it helps, because the things I envision when I'm punching that bag is, so it gets rid of it. Because you're gonna have relapses. If you've been hurt, if you've been a victim, you will have relapses, possibly for the rest of your life. But don't let it control you. You can't let it control you. Control who you are, control where you're going. You just, hey, I just slip back. I'm going to go through it again, and I'm back. Okay, so that's very important. You see, if you practice this mindset long enough of I am not a victim, I am a survivor. If you practice it long enough, something shifts. Something shifts within you, around you, and the way people see you. Okay. Instead of walking in and being fragile and almost in need of protection, you will walk in and look powerful and look strong, where nobody's going to fuck with me today, And I don't mean to be a Karen, okay? I mean, I have this thing where I walk into a place, and I've been through it, where I walk into any supermarket and people think I own it. People will literally come up and go, "Oh, you own the place, can I apply for a job?" Right now I'm just shopping it. Tell me where the spaghetti is. So you have that power with practice. Keep working on this, and you'll get there where you walk upright, you speak boldly. And this is an art, okay? I have been there when one of my very best friends actually met me when I was at my lowest, okay? I was in a job interview with him, and I barely spoke, okay? I literally just looked at him, and I was actually looking at him and thinking, yeah, if I don't get this job tonight, I'm ending it, okay? Literally, that was my mindset, okay? And he saw this, and he gave me the job, okay? He didn't know me from a bar of soap. He gave me the job. Yeah, and we've known each other for many, many years. And he knows me. Today I can walk into any situation, anywhere, and I walk in with confidence. Back then, I faked it. I smiled, and he used to tell me I'm the great pretender because he saw right through it, okay? But nobody else did, okay? I think it's because I allowed him to, that he saw through it. But other people don't. Even now, if I do public speaking, sometimes I'm almost unsure, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. I can stand up in front of 5,000 people and talk like I'm speaking to my friends, and it doesn't bother me. My voice doesn't shake, nothing. My insides might go nuts, but it takes practice. The point I'm making is it takes practice. It takes perseverance. You've got to keep telling yourself, I am not a victim. I have potential. I can be something. I'm going to be what I want to be. You do not define me. My history doesn't define me. My experience doesn't define me. My trauma does not define me. You see, two people can go through the same trauma, exactly the same trauma, and one will stay a victim for the rest of their life, and the other one will become a survivor. The other one will become a survivor. The one, everybody will feel sorry for that person forever, and that person will stay down. Yeah, they will stay a victim. They will live in the past. They will be identified by their trauma. Okay, and the other one won't. And it's all perspective, your perspective on what you do with your trauma. It's hard, and I'm not saying it's easy. And get therapy. I never have. I'm my own best therapist. Okay, I'm my own worst critic, but I also tell myself the truth. I do speak to myself a lot, but it's all about perspective. So two people, exactly the same thing, can go in opposite directions. One can stay down, permanently depressed, permanently frightened of the world, and the other one comes out twice as strong, Khaleesi, strong, you know what I mean? So make the choice. The choice is yours. Don't give whoever did what to you, don't give them the power to determine who you are and how the rest of your life plays out. Don't be a victim. Be a survivor, okay? It's so important. So if you're here and you're listening right now and you've been through hell, I want you to hear this. You lived, you made it, and you're still here. Okay, you are still here. You're still around. You're still breathing. You're still enough here to look at my face. You're a survivor. You are a survivor. Okay, you have every right to be tired, to get tired, to take your time to heal. You have every right to take your time to heal. But don't call yourself a survivor anymore. Don't do that to yourself, because you're stopping yourself, you're holding yourself back, you're playing into their hands. Don't do that. When you live to tell the story, you are a survivor. Okay, there's a difference. People look at you differently if you're a survivor than if you're a victim. Okay, so stand up, tell your story. You don't have to tell it to the world. You can tell it to yourself if you'd like me. You can tell it to yourself. Stand up, tell your story, and take back your power. Take back your power. You've survived. Your survival is proof that the darkness inside cannot win and did not win. Okay? Darkness never wins. Okay? And you're proof of that because you survived. Okay? So if this message touched you, share it with someone who needs it. Share it with someone who's been hurt, who is a victim, who doesn't know how to get out of it to be a survivor. Help them become whole. Okay, if you've never been a victim, Help someone. You're not going to help someone by just constantly feeling sorry for them. Help them through the fire. Let them feel, let them experience, be there for them. But when they get to the other side, you survived. I'm proud of you. You survived. Okay? So yeah, until next time, I hope this means something to someone. Until next time, we take care of your scars. Take care of your scars. Be proud of your scars. I don't mean be proud of your scars. They showed what couldn't kill you, what couldn't destroy you, that you're a survivor. They show that you are a survivor. Anyway, love you guys.